Hello and welcome back to Gappleton. You're in the right place. Today we are doing a little bit of vise restoration. I picked up this vise for my drill press, which is just out of focus over there. I really like Camlock vices, so today I'm going to do a little restoration on one that I found off of Facebook Marketplace. It was a killer steal at $25. Let's see what we can make of it. So here you can see I've sandblasted all the parts. Some of that blue did not want to come off no matter how hard I tried, so it can just stay. But as you can see, I got the upper or left and right jaw all clean, have everything stripped down, sandblasted all the little bits and pieces. This is the main screw that drives the jaw that moves, not the fixed jaw, but the moving jaw. And this product here, this is liquid cold blue. This is something I found on Amazon. I've never used it before, but I've seen people use it. You simply just brush it on. Some people will actually pour little trays and dip their parts. I'm going with the brushing method. Not really sure if this can end up on your hands or not, so you'll see me put gloves on here in a minute. Yeah, I could really only get so far without getting it on my fingers, so get the gloves on, pour a little more in there, get that screw going. As you can see, it kind of soaks in and really puts a darkened finish as it sort of sits on the metal. And I found that you do have to wipe it off because it actually flash rusted. And here you can see I've since wiped it all off, and now it's only the cold blue on there. Wiped off the excess. There's a little before and after of the primer going on. Looking really good. It's all taped off where it needs to be. Gotta get a good shake on the can. And now we're laying some paint. Now, I've done a few of these tool restorations before. A lot of times with like old players or weird things that I find at like flea markets and stuff. Never a vise though, and there's a lot of videos on it. Yeah, they're super satisfying. I'm really excited to do this. I have this cam vise for my little guy. It works super good, even though it's currently missing jaws and a handle for the side. Everything works like it should. It locks in, it does the thing. Yeah, this one's pretty ugly. I actually did clean up the jaws a little bit. I welded in a fair number of spots that have been hit by drill bits and all that. You can still see a little bit more about there that needs to be done. But yeah, depending how that one goes, this one might be next on the chopping block.
And we can't forget about these two monsters. These are,
here's my hand for reference. These weigh probably about 40 pounds a piece. They are super, super heavy. I was actually looking for that little guy. When I bought these, somebody said, oh yeah, 40 bucks, come get them both. I'm like, oh, sweet. The pictures were like this, so I thought they were little 4-inch guys, like that one. Oh, focus. Like that one. But yeah, I showed up and found these. And yeah, if you know anything about these are machining vices. You don't see them commonly used because of the whole cam style thing. Most people just lock their stuff down for good instead of the whole cam thing. But yeah, these are rather expensive to buy new, so I was super excited to grab them. And they have come in very handy. I actually use them a lot in welding projects. Quickly holding pieces that I don't want to sit there and try and fixture or tack to the table. Yeah, I'll just grab one of them guys, and I can even grab onto the clamp with my ground clamp. Yeah, helps things a lot. Also give a quick mention that this is the Rust-Oleum hammered finish. It's super identifiable in the stores. You can tell because it's right on the cap. Super easy to find. But yeah, first time working with this product, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, here we go. This is 2 coats on. A lot of that little speckling that was there from before, that seems to be gone. What you see is just reflection left. As you see it moves around, it kind of disappears. But yeah, looking pretty good. I'm thinking 3 coats is gonna be the magic. All right, today's tomorrow. I'm me, you're still you. Let's go check on some dried paint. Survey says dry. Sweet. And here you see I've started the assembly process. I'm applying a layer of grease to all the mating surfaces of the stuff that I'm not gonna see. I don't want any moisture to get behind anywhere and start rusting when that I can't see it. because that's kind of what I found when I took it apart. So putting a layer of grease everywhere should help this thing last a while. I'm not getting any corrosion behind there because my garage is susceptible to humidity. I mean, it's not a perfect environment, so getting everything all greased up, keep the rust away. There is plenty of grease on there. I will have to go back and wipe it all off at the very end. That's kind of the last step of the process. Now you see, I did struggle a little bit with the fitment of this upper piece. I went ahead and painted the ways on the upper half, or at least where it makes contact with the ways on the lower fixed jaw, or fixed portion of the vise. That paint actually was causing an interference in the fit, so I just quickly take the die grinder, grind it off, and she fits right up. And this upper ring, kind of the same story. That layer of paint is what's causing it not to fit. So take that off and come back and give it a light little massage with the swinging press, and on she goes. Here you see me assembling the lower, I don't know what you'd call this, the lower piece that kind of locks it to the vise. And sending the handle back in. Being really careful not to mash up those threads on the end. Those are really light hits. Didn't want to make any more work for myself. And that screw there was actually shaved with the flap disc to have that nice rounded surface so it doesn't have any protrusion. Alright, we're going to interject a little side note here. And putting this together, there's a washer that's supposed to sit down in that recess right there, that pocket around that shaft, before the knob goes on. Right in there. And I cannot find it anywhere. I've apparently lost it somewhere in the Empire of Dirt, and so I'm making a new one. So here's a little bit about how that's going. So I consulted the washer drawer. I measured the depth of that little pocket plus a little bit of paint clearance. That's fine. And then I found a washer to start from, ran it onto a nut and bolt. Let's see. Yep, ran her onto a nut and bolt. Chalked the bolt up in the drill and spun it on this file right here until it fits with the width of that pocket. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw this down to the bench and go at it with a flap disc until it's the proper thickness. So it'll be width and thickness. And the last thing to do, well, maybe I'll do this before I shave it. Drill out the center so that it fits around that shaft. Now, what I've done here is I have screwed this to the bench using a Torx because I think that has the deepest engagement for the bit. So as I shave down the head with the washer, hopefully I can get it back off again. Yeah, so now I'm going to shave it while measuring it against the thickness of that pocket, get it to what's gonna fit. This is all really rough. Yeah, it's not by no means a precision part, but it's gonna work. Well, there you have it. That is my vise completed. It is all done. It's repainted, it was sandblasted, and now it's all, it's back together. As you can see, it's much nicer than we found it. Is it anywhere near perfect? Absolutely not, but that was never the point. It's nicer than we found it, it works. Thanks for tuning into Gappleton, and we'll see you next time.